Welcome to Monk's Temple. Come in. The night is deep, and the space here is soft. There is a chair for you, or a cushion on the floor. You are welcome, exactly as you are in this moment. You've been carrying something. It's not a loud question, but a quiet hum. A vibration you feel in the pause between thoughts, in the stillness before sleep. What is all this for? What is my part in it? We spend our lives trying to translate that hum into something we can hold. A better job. A deeper love. A lasting legacy. We treat purpose like a final destination, a point on a map we must reach before our time runs out. We exhaust ourselves on the journey, convinced the answer lies just over the next hill, in the next success, the next chapter. But tonight, let's try something different. Let's not look at the map. Let's feel the ground beneath our feet. This is not a lecture. It's an invitation. An invitation to remember what you have always known, beneath the noise of seeking. We won't add more theories to your shoulders. We'll gently brush them away, like morning mist from a window. Our guides will be stories. Old wisdom in new clothes. They are not puzzles to solve, but spaces to step into. They don't give you answers. They quiet the one who is asking. So, let your shoulders drop. Feel the weight of your body being held. Hear the quiet of this room, or the quiet of your own space. The question is here. Let's meet it not with a frantic mind, but with a curious heart. If this gentle space speaks to you, consider subscribing to Monk's Temple. It's a simple way to keep this hearth glowing in your pocket, a place to return to whenever the world grows loud and the hum within grows faint. Your subscription is a quiet nod, a way of saying this sanctuary matters. Now, let's begin. Not with seeking, but with settling. In a vast, dust-scented library in Istanbul, lit by shafts of golden light, there was a librarian who cared for the majuan, the forgotten manuscripts. While scholars clamored for the famous philosophical treatises and epic poems, she tended to the cookbook stained with olive oil, the merchant ledgers with doodles in the margins, the diaries of unknown travelers, the simple folk tales told by grandmothers and written down in spidery script. A young scholar, his mind full of grand ideas, once scoffed at her. "Why waste your life on these?" he asked, gesturing to a shelf of humble volumes. "Their purpose is negligible. They teach no great universal truths. They are just life." The librarian did not look up from the fragile page she was restoring. "Come," she said softly. She opened a ledger from a 16th century spice trader. "See here. This merchant notes the price of saffron falling in the market because his daughter fell ill with fever. He writes, 'I sat by her bed and prayed instead of trading. The loss is great, but her breath is greater.' Here," she said, her finger tracing the faded ink, "is economics, love, and faith, all in one line." She then opened a simple cookbook, its pages splattered with age-old recipes. "This one," she pointed, "calls for saffron as bright as the hope of spring. Here is poetry and survival on a single page. It fed a family. It carried a memory." She closed the book and met the scholar's eyes. "The grand epics shout their purpose. These whisper. But the library is not made of shouts alone. It is held together by the hum of a million lived moments. The purpose of a life is not only in its headline, its title. It is in its texture, the marginalia, the stained pages, the quiet prayers scribbled next to grocery lists. I am not a keeper of answers. I am a keeper of the texture. We are like that scholar. We rank our purpose, our lives, against others. We think the CEO's purpose outranks the baristas. The artist's trumps the accountants. The humanitarian's is greater than the homemakers. We believe our life must be an epic poem to be meaningful, and if it feels like a simple folk song or a messy, ink-stained ledger, we deem it a failure. But from the perspective of the universal library, every volume has its sacred shelf. The epic and the ledger are both authentic records of a human spirit interacting with the world. Your purpose isn't about the genre of your life. It's about the authenticity of its entries. The love you put into a meal, the integrity in a small transaction, the patience with a crying child, the courage to get up on a difficult morning, these are the sacred marginalia of the human saga. Your life is not a headline waiting to be written by someone else. It is a texture you are weaving, deeply and truly, with every conscious breath. Practice the marginalia moment. Today, perform one utterly ordinary task as if you are making a sacred entry in the ledger of your life. Wash a dish with the care of a scribe illuminating a manuscript. Listen to a coworker's story as if it is a precious fragment of a lost folk tale. Make a cup of tea with the attention of an ancient recipe keeper. Infuse the mundane with the dignity of your full attention. This is how you honor the profound, whispering purpose of the ordinary. High in the snow-capped Himalayas, a chunk of ancient glacier ice calved off with a sound like thunder. It tumbled into the rushing, freezing waters of a mountain river. For a moment, it was terrified. I am solid. I am still. I am part of the majestic, unmoving mountain. My purpose is to reflect the stars and hold the snow. This fluid chaos will destroy me. The river, relentless and singing, carried it. The ice felt its sharp, crystalline edges begin to soften. It began to melt, to merge with the flow. The terrifying process felt like dying, like losing itself completely. But as it dissolved, something unexpected happened. It didn't cease to be, it became the river. It felt the river's speed, its power to carve deep canyons over millennia, its inevitable journey to the vast, open ocean. It was no longer a separate, static thing. It was the river's wetness, its cold, its relentless flow. Days later, under a blazing sun near the plains, the same molecule of water evaporated, rose as vapor, and formed part of a great, billowing cloud. It traveled on the wind. It fell as warm rain on the very mountain it came from, seeping into the soil to nurture a tiny alpine flower. It had been ice, water, vapor, rain. Each state felt like a total loss of the previous identity, but each was a vital, purposeful phase of a single, continuous cycle of being. We cling with white knuckles to a single state of being, the ice of our current identity, the successful professional, the devoted caregiver, the always healthy person, the certain one. We see change, the melting of a job loss, an empty nest, an illness, a failure, as the destruction of our purpose. We fight the river of life, trying to stay solid, defined, and safe in a flow that is inherently about movement and transformation. But you are not the ice. You are the essence that can take the form of ice, river, vapor, and rain. Your purpose is not tied to one form, one role, one chapter. It is the capacity to move through forms, to learn the unique lessons of each state. The solidity of ice teaches patience, resilience, and presence. The flow of the river teaches release, trust, and direction. The dissolution into vapor teaches surrender, expansion, and a bird's-eye view. The purpose is in the wholeness of the cycle, not in the desperate clinging to one season of it. The difficult transition is not the end of your story, it is the river inviting you into its next verse. Practice the state awareness. Gently identify your current state. Are you in an icy phase of solid routine and definition? A flowing phase of change and uncertainty? A vapor phase of feeling dispersed or dreamy? Instead of resisting it, ask with curiosity. What can I only learn, only feel, only be, in this state? If you're in flow, practice trust. If you're solid, practice deep, rooted presence. Honor the inherent purpose of the phase you are in. It is not permanent, but it is perfect for now. Your purpose is to experience it fully. In a mythical, mist-shrouded glen in the Scottish Highlands, there was a river too fierce and wide to cross. It divided the village, kept lovers apart, and made trade difficult. The people needed a bridge. A wise old woman of the glen, a Cailleach, didn't call for a single, massive arch built by one master engineer. Instead, she issued a simple invitation to every villager: bring one stone. Not just any stone, but the most beautiful, interesting, or personally significant stone you can find. A farmer brought a smooth, dark river stone, worn by centuries of water. A child brought a speckled granite pebble she found while dreaming. A carpenter brought a piece of fine-grained sandstone. An elder brought a fragment of stone from his family's ancient hearth. A grieving widow brought a simple, gray stone from her husband's favorite walking path. One by one, they placed their stones in the shallows of the river. They didn't fit together perfectly. There were gaps, odd angles, uneven surfaces. But as the clear, cold water flowed over and through them, something magical happened. The specific arrangement of different densities and shapes made the water sing. It created a constant, gentle symphony, a chiming, gurgling, whispering melody that became known as the bridge's eternal song. You couldn't cross from one side to the other without hearing the collective harmony of the entire community. The bridge's purpose was not just to get you to the other side, it was to remind you, with every step, that you were moving on a path made of 1,000 unique stories, singing together in the current. We think our purpose is a solitary, monumental arch we must design, engineer, and build alone. We look at others' stones, their talents, their successes, their seemingly perfect lives, with envy or judgment, thinking our own odd-shaped, rough-hewn, or plain stone is inferior or irrelevant. We exhaust ourselves trying to build a perfect, seamless, impressive bridge by ourselves, and we collapse under the effort and the profound loneliness of it. But your purpose is almost always relational and collaborative. You are one unique, irreplaceable stone in a collective, living bridge. Your odd shape, your specific history, your peculiar sound when life flows over you is necessary for the overall song. The bridge of humanity, of your community, of your family, of meaningful progress needs your specific contribution to create the full, rich, complex harmony. Your role isn't to be the whole bridge, but to offer your stone sincerely, to place it with care, and then to listen, really listen, for the beautiful song your placement creates in concert with all the others. Practice The stone offering. Today, identify your stone. What is one small, genuine gift you can offer to your immediate world? It doesn't need to be grand. It could be your patience in a long line, a baked good for a neighbor, your full attention in solving a small problem, a listening ear for a friend's trivial worry. Offer it quietly, without fanfare or need for recognition. Then, listen. Listen for the song, the subtle shift in atmosphere, the small sigh of relief, the moment of connection or ease that your offering helped create. Feel how you are part of a melody much larger than yourself. In a serene valley between two great, sleeping mountains, there lived a meticulous gardener. He had inherited a plot of land that was a wild, glorious meadow, a joyful chaos of buzzing bees, nodding wildflowers with faces to the sun, and grasses that danced in great, emerald waves with the wind. He looked upon it and thought, this has no purpose. It is untamed, unproductive. It is a beautiful mess. He dedicated his life to giving it one. He drew elaborate blueprints on parchment. He imported rare rose bushes from distant lands, ordered rows of identical, perfect tulip bulbs, laid precise gravel paths in geometric patterns. He spent years, back aching, pulling up the weeds, the native crimson clover, the milkweed with its monarch butterflies, the stubborn, sunny dandelions. He watered his imported plants with carefully measured amounts, fed them special formulas, and protected them from every pest. The wild meadow slowly, inexorably, became a formal garden. Neat. Ordered. Predictable. And silent. One fierce summer, a great drought settled over the valley like a heavy blanket. Week after week, the sun blazed. The gardener watched in horror as his prized roses wilted, their petals falling like crumpled paper. His tulips crisped to brown dust. His imported plants, dependent entirely on his constant, precise care, had shallow, fragile roots. They perished. In despair, he walked to the very edge of his property, to a fence line he had neglected. There, in a narrow, forgotten strip between his stone wall and the forest, the old wild meadow persisted. The native grasses, with roots that plunged 10 feet deep into the secret moisture of the earth, were still green. The milkweed, tough and adapted, still fed struggling butterflies. The clover, with its own secret pact with the soil, held precious moisture and nitrogen. This mess, this purposeless patch, was vibrantly, resiliently alive, sustaining a whole microcosm of life without his plan, without his control. The gardener sat in the dust of his perfect, dead paths and finally saw. His purpose was never to impose an external design upon the intelligent land. His purpose was to be a steward, a humble partner to the life that was already there, already purposeful in its interconnected dance. He had mistaken control for care, order for value. We are that gardener. We believe our purpose is a blueprint we must impose upon the wild meadow of our being, our innate talents, our unpredictable emotions, our quirky passions, our deep intuitions. We uproot our natural inclinations because they don't fit the formal garden of societal expectation, of what a successful, or spiritual, life should look like. We exhaust ourselves trying to water and manicure a shallow, imported identity, while the deep, wild, authentic, resilient part of us waits, humming with life, at the edges of our awareness. Your purpose is not a design you impose from above. It is the inherent, intelligent wisdom of your own ecosystem. It is the deep root of your intuition, the wildflower of your spontaneous joy, the buzzing hive of your untamed creativity. Your role is not to control, but to observe with wonder, to nurture with respect, to protect that wildness from the drought of doubt and the frost of criticism. Tend to what is naturally, robustly growing within you, not to what you think should be there according to some external catalog. Practice the wild self-walk. Today, take 15 minutes with absolutely no goal. Wander. Physically, if you can, in a park or a quiet neighborhood. Or let your mind wander without a destination. Don't pull the weeds of random thoughts. Don't pave your curiosity with shoulds. Just observe what springs up naturally. What catches your eye or your imagination? A strange cloud? A memory of a childhood game? A sudden desire to draw or sing? Where does your mind go when it's not being directed, managed, or judged? That's your wild meadow. Your purpose lives and breathes in its untamed, alive, authentic quality. Visit it often. In the lush, thunderous canopy of the Amazon rainforest, the dawn chorus was a symphony of staggering complexity. Toucans boomed, parrots shrieked in electric green flashes, hummingbirds trilled like tiny, feathered wires. In the midst of this orchestral cacophony, there was a small, plain, olive-colored bird. It did not have dazzling plumage. It did not perform acrobatic flights. When it sang one note. A clear, pure, piercing tweet. Over and over. A simple, unwavering tone. A biologist from afar, recording the soundscape for a study, initially filtered out this single note as background noise, irrelevant data. He was focused on mapping the complex, interlocking melodies. But over months of listening, a pattern emerged in his data that baffled him. The rainforest's acoustic structure had a strange consistency. He ran analysis after analysis. Finally, he saw it. That one, simple, plain note was the consistent temporal anchor for the entire dawn chorus. Other birds, perhaps unconsciously, used its regular pulse as a reference point for their own elaborate songs. It was the unwavering metronome of the soundscape. In its radical simplicity, it provided a foundational stability that allowed the magnificent complexity around it to cohere into harmony, not chaos. Without that one humble note, the symphony would have been an overwhelming, disordered noise. We think our purpose must be a complex, virtuosic, multi-movement melody. A life of dramatic achievements, a multifaceted career that changes the world, a legacy with many glittering chapters. We listen to the complex, impressive songs of others, the innovators, the celebrities, the seemingly perfect lives on screens, and we feel our own simple offering is worthless, too plain, too small. I just like to quietly garden. I'm just a good listener. I just show up reliably for my family. I just find peace in fixing broken things. We devalue our single, clear note. But the chorus of humanity, the ecosystem of existence, needs your note. Your simple, authentic, consistent expression, your innate kindness, your quiet diligence, your stubborn curiosity, your reliable calm, is a vital anchor in the collective symphony. It provides stability in a chaotic world. It offers a point of quiet reference for others who are lost in their own complexity. It creates a pocket of simplicity, of sanity, of heart. Do not underestimate the profound purpose of your one, clear note. The entire forest, in ways you may never see, relies on it. Practice the one-note day. Gently identify your one note. What is the simple, core quality you naturally bring to things when you are not trying to be impressive? Is it calmness? Is it a sense of humor? Is it careful attention to detail? Is it a nurturing presence? Today, consciously decide to sing that note. If your note is calmness, be calmly present in a moment of chaos. If it's joy, find 3 small moments to genuinely smile, even if just to yourself. If it's diligence, do one small task thoroughly and with care. Don't try to sing a more complex song. Don't compare your note to others. Just be your clear, simple, authentic self. That is enough. That is essential. That is purpose. In the ancient, walled city of Krakow, there was an old night watchman named Jan. His duty was to walk the cobbled streets from dusk till dawn, a lantern in hand, calling out the hour and assuring all was well. For 50 years, he did this. He never caught a thief. He never put out a great fire. No statues were built in his honor. To the sleeping citizens, his call was just part of the night's background music, a comforting sound that meant safety, though they rarely thought of him. One bitter winter night, a young man, new to the watch, asked him, "Jan, doesn't it feel pointless? Walking these empty streets, calling into the void? No one sees your work. Nothing ever happens." Jan paused by the Wisla River, looking at the city's dark silhouette against the starry sky. He said, "You see an empty street. I see a city resting peacefully because it knows it is watched over." The purpose is not in the dramatic capture. It is in the constancy that makes the capture unnecessary. The mother sleeps deeply because she hears my call and knows the night is tended. The baker's ovens are safe. The child's dreams are unbroken. The city's peace is a living thing, and I am its breath through the dark hours. You ask for visible proof of purpose. I feel it in the silent trust of 10,000 sleepers. That is enough. We often believe our purpose must have visible, measurable results, a promotion, praise, a finished product, social impact we can point to. We feel pointless if our efforts are quiet, repetitive, or unseen. We crave recognition, proof that our walking through the dark matters. But some of the most vital purposes are like Jan's. They create the invisible conditions for life, peace, and trust to flourish. Your constant, quiet integrity creates a field of safety around you. Your reliable kindness is a breath of peace in someone's chaotic day. Your unseen prayers, your private disciplines, your unfailing showing up, these are the watchman's calls in the night. They hold a space for goodness, often preventing fires that never need to be fought. Your purpose is not negated by its invisibility, it is often purified by it. Trust the silence you guard. Practice the unseen stewardship. Today, do one thing well that no one will notice or thank you for. Make your bed meticulously. Organize a drawer. Complete a piece of work with extra care, knowing only you will see the difference. Do it as an act of stewardship for the invisible peace and order of your world. You are the watchman of your own spirit, and your consistency is a sacred call. In a steamy forge in medieval Damascus, known for steel that could bend but not break, a young apprentice labored. He believed purpose was forged solely by effort. The harder he hammered, the hotter he made the fire, the more he sweat, the closer he'd get to mastery. He swung the heavy hammer until his muscles screamed, stoked the coals until the forge roared, but his blades were often brittle, prone to cracking. The master smith, a woman with forearms like knotted rope, watched him for days. Finally, she stilled his frantic hand. "You are all push," she said. "You have forgotten the pull." She pointed not to the hammer, but to the great leather bellows in the corner. "Watch," she said. She did not pump them wildly. She opened them wide, drawing in a deep, slow breath of cool air from the room. Then, with a steady, focused press, she directed that gathered breath into the heart of the fire. The flames, which had been roaring and chaotic, suddenly focused into a needlepoint of blue-white heat, precisely on the metal. "The hammer shapes," she said. "But the breath of the bellows gives it life. It is the balance, the deep receiving, then the gentle, directed giving. You must learn to be still and draw life in before you can give purposeful form out. Purpose is not forged in exhaustion. It is born in the rhythm between receptivity and action. We are the frantic apprentice. We believe purpose is a verb, a constant doing, more hustle, more grind, more pushing ourselves to the limit. We think if we're not exhausted, we're not dedicated. We fill every moment with effort, leaving no space for the bellows of our soul to draw breath. We burn out, and our creations, like the brittle blades, lack resilience and true life. But your purpose requires the full rhythm, the inhalation of inspiration, rest, reflection, and simple being, followed by the exhalation of focused, enlivened action. The breath is as important as the blow. The stillness is as creative as the strike. Your most purposeful work will emerge not from a place of depleted striving, but from a centered, nourished stillness that has gathered its resources. Are you all push, with no pull? Let the bellows of your spirit open wide. Breathe in the world. Then, direct that gathered life with gentle precision. Practice the bellows breath. Before starting your next task, take 2 minutes. Sit. Inhale slowly for a count of 4, imagining drawing in peace, clarity, or inspiration from the space around you. Hold for a count of 2, letting it gather at your center. Exhale slowly for a count of 6, imagining directing that gathered quality into the task ahead. Do this just 3 times. You are not wasting time, you are forging the quality of your action. This is purposeful preparation. Among the Mongolian steppes, a young nomad named Batar grew weary of the endless moving. He watched the settled people in the distant town with their solid houses and envied their permanent address, their defined place. They have a purpose tied to a place, he thought. I am always passing through. I have no true home, so how can I have a true purpose? He voiced this to his grandmother, old Sarnai, as she repaired the felt walls of their jar. She chuckled, her eyes crinkling like sun-baked leather. You think purpose is in the ground? The house sits on the land. But we, she said, gesturing to the vast, rolling horizon, we carry our home with us. Our purpose is not to root in one spot, but to be in right relationship with each spot we visit. To graze the herds without scarring the earth. To take down our home without a trace, leaving the grass to recover. To read the sky for storms and the grass for water. Our purpose is fluid, like the wind. It is to be a gentle, conscious visitor to the earth, not its permanent owner. The town's purpose is to build. Ours is to flow. Which is more necessary? The mountain or the river that feeds it? We cling to the idea of a fixed home for our purpose, a single career, identity, relationship, or lifestyle that will finally give us a permanent sense of meaning. When life forces us to move, to change, to become nomadic through circumstances, job loss, heartbreak, relocation, we feel untethered, purposeless. We long for the solid house of a defined self. But what if your purpose, in certain seasons, is to be a nomad? To carry your home, your center, your values, your awareness, within you. To practice being in right relationship with each new, temporary landscape of your life. Your purpose may be to learn flexibility, resilience, and the art of leaving no bitter traces. To read the inner skies of your intuition and find sustenance in unexpected places. The nomad's purpose is profound, to be at home in the journey itself, tending to each passing place with respect. Your current transience is not a loss of purpose, it is a different, ancient kind of purpose. Practice. The inner jar wherever you are sitting, imagine you are in a perfect, portable dwelling, a tent of your own presence. Feel its walls as your sense of inner peace. Its roof is your connection to the sky of awareness. Now, look at your current life circumstance, your job, your living situation, your social circle. See it as the current grassland where your gur is pitched. Your task is not to build a fortress here, but to be fully, respectfully present here, knowing you carry your true home within. This mindset is purposeful presence. In a quiet Kyoto pottery studio, a master was removing a finished vase from the kiln. It was perfect, a masterpiece of form and subtle glaze, destined for a temple altar. As he carried it, his foot caught on a mat. The vase flew from his hands and shattered on the stone floor into a dozen pieces. Heartbroken, he collected the shards. He could not bring himself to discard them. For weeks, they sat in a box. Then, remembering the ancient art of kintsugi, he began the painstaking repair. Using a special lacquer mixed with powdered gold, he joined each piece. He did not hide the breaks, he emphasized them. When finished, the vase was whole again, but now webbed with a luminous network of golden seams. The cracks were not hidden, they were illuminated, made the central feature of the design. The vase was no longer perfect, but it held a new, more profound story. It spoke of fragility, of seismic change, of mindful repair, of transformation. Its value increased immeasurably. Its purpose evolved from being an object of distant, flawless admiration to being a living lesson in resilience, a testament to the beauty that can emerge from respectful mending. We see our cracks, our failures, our traumas, our heartbreaks, our flaws, as evidence that we are broken, that we have failed our purpose. We hide our fractures, ashamed. We believe purpose belongs only to the whole, the perfect, the untarnished. We spend our lives trying to present an unblemished surface to the world, exhausting ourselves in the pretense. But what if your purpose is not in spite of your breaks, but intimately because of them? What if the gold of your hard-won wisdom, your deepened compassion, your forged resilience is meant to fuse your fractures into a map of meaning more beautiful than any original, untouched surface could ever be. Your cracks are where the light of your understanding now enters and exits. They are where others, with their own fractures, can recognize a familiar landscape and feel less alone. The difficult situations are the kiln drops, the earthquakes. They are not random punishments. They are the forces that break apart our rigid, idealized identities so that a more authentic, integrated, and luminous self can be painstakingly, lovingly pieced together. Your purpose is to be the artisan of your own kintsugi, to repair yourself not to a former illusion of perfection, but into a work of art that proudly, gently bears the history of its transformation. Practice the golden seam. Bring to mind one crack in your life, a past failure, a perceived flaw, an emotional wound. Instead of turning from it in shame, spend a quiet moment honoring it. Ask it, what strength grew here? What empathy was born from this fracture? What deeper truth did this break reveal? See that earned insight as the gold dust. Now, in a small, tangible act today, let that gold show. Perhaps your past loneliness allows you to truly see and gently acknowledge someone who is isolated. Your experience of failure allows you to offer genuine encouragement to someone who is struggling. That is your golden seam, shining. Your purpose includes your breaks. They are part of your sacred design. A Polynesian voyager, learning the ancient art of wayfinding, found himself under a sky suddenly blanketed by dense cloud. The star maps etched in his memory, the star paths of his ancestors, were invisible. The ocean was a vast, featureless plate of gray. Panic, cold and sharp, rose in his throat. I am alone. I have lost the way. My purpose is to navigate, and I cannot. He was adrift for days, the horizon a seamless circle of emptiness. Just as despair threatened to swallow him, he remembered his teacher's words, when the sky closes its eyes, the ocean opens its mouth. Listen. He stopped straining his eyes for stars. He lay down in the canoe, becoming still. He watched the direction of the swell, feeling its deep, rhythmic pulse through the hull. He observed the flight patterns of seabirds, turns heading out at dawn meant land was near. He tasted the air, detecting the faintest scent of mud and blossoms carried from an unseen island. He noted the kinds of debris in the water. He was no longer navigating by a single, external map of stars. He was in a living, multisensory conversation with the entire environment. The birds became his stars. The swell his compass. His own attuned senses became the chart. He realized his purpose wasn't to rigidly follow a pre-drawn constellation, but to be so deeply in relationship with the sea that he became part of its own navigation system. He found his way home not by conquering the ocean, but by listening to its song. We are the sailor under a clouded sky. We believe our purpose is a fixed star, a specific job title, a social role, a 5-year plan, a clear spiritual signpost. When life clouds over and that star vanishes, we lose the job, the role changes, the plan evaporates, our faith wobbles, we think we are lost, adrift, purposeless. We feel terrifyingly alone on a meaningless sea. But your true purpose is your capacity for deep relationship and full-spectrum attention. It's your ability to read the subtler maps when the main one fails, the map of your intuition, the birds, the map of emotional and energetic currents, the swell, the map of synchronicity and subtle guidance, the scent on the wind. You are not a solitary pin on a chart. You are a participating, sensing node in a living, intelligent network. Your purpose emerges in the dynamic dialogue between you and your world. When one star fades, the whole cosmos is still there, communicating in a different, more intimate language. Are you lost? Or are you just being asked to listen in a new way? Practice the environmental scan. Pause wherever you are. Ask silently, what is my ocean telling me right now? Not with grand signs, but with subtle cues. Is your body tired or energized, a shift in the inner swell? Is there a recurring thought, a chance encounter, a song in your head, a guiding bird? Is there a feeling in the air, a sense of pull toward or away from something, a scent on the wind? For today, choose to trust and act on one small piece of that intuitive data. Text the person who came to mind. Rest if your body says rest. Follow the small curiosity. You are practicing the art of relational navigation, which is the very heart of purpose. In a simple house in the countryside, a man had two beautiful oil lamps. One was ornate, made of polished brass, and he placed it on a high shelf. This is my special lamp, he thought. I will light it only for the most important occasions, when a great teacher visits, or on the highest holy day. He feared using up its oil, so it sat in the dark, gathering dust. The other lamp was plain clay. He used this one every single night. He lit it to read by, to mend his clothes, to eat his supper, to guide his children to bed. Its wick was trimmed and blackened from use, its oil burned low and refilled regularly from a large jug. One long, stormy winter night, a power outage plunged the house into darkness. The everyday clay lamp burned out its last drop. Remembering the special lamp, the man fumbled in the dark, took it down, and tried to light it. It sputtered, coughed a thread of black smoke, and died after a few feeble moments. The oil inside had gone rancid and thick from years of disuse. The lamp whose purpose was to be preserved, saved for a perfect moment, was utterly useless. The lamp whose purpose was to be used, to illuminate 1,000 ordinary moments, had warmed the house with memory and light. Its vessel was still warm to the touch. We think of our life's purpose, our energy, our love, our creativity, our compassion, as a finite fuel, like the oil in the lamp. We hoard it. We save it for a special day, a grand mission, a perfect opportunity, when we feel worthy enough or the world seems deserving enough. We are afraid to spend it on the ordinary, thinking that would be a waste. I'll be creative when I have more time. I'll forgive when I feel stronger. I'll help when I have more to give. But love, compassion, creativity, courage, these are not like oil that depletes. They are like muscles that grow stronger with use and atrophy with disuse. They are like a spring, the more you draw from it, the clearer and more abundant it flows. Your purpose is not a treasure to be buried and protected. It is a light to be kindled and shared in the daily dark. The oil of your spirit does not spoil from use, it spoils from stagnation, from waiting. The difficult nights are when you discover how much light you can actually give, and in the giving, you tap into a source that seems to miraculously refill itself. Practice The daily wick. Tonight, light a candle if you can. Watch the flame consume the wax. Instead of seeing it as depletion, see it as transformation. Solid becomes light and warmth. Now, choose one quality you've been hoarding, maybe your creativity, your forgiveness, your playfulness, your generosity. Decide to burn a little of it today on something utterly ordinary. Draw a silly doodle on a notepad. Let go of a small grudge without fanfare. Tell a harmless, silly joke. Don't save it for a masterpiece or a perfect, profound apology. Use it now. Feel the warmth of the burning, the joy of the expenditure. This is your purpose, to transform your latent fuel into active light, today. People built a serene monastery on the slopes of a beautiful, green mountain in the Andes. It was a place of quiet contemplation, of gentle purpose. The mountain was seen as the ultimate symbol of stability, unchanging peace, eternal stillness. The monk's purpose was to match that serenity. But deep beneath the tranquil meadows and silent forests, the mountain was also a volcano. It had a fiery, molten, creative, and destructive heart. For generations, the monks politely ignored the occasional tremors, the wisps of steam from fissures. They saw this inner fire as a flaw, a distraction from their peaceful purpose, something to be transcended. One season, the volcano stirred. Not to annihilate, but to create. It erupted slowly, not with a catastrophic explosion, but with a steady, oozing flow of lava. This flow carved new, fertile valleys over time, created new geothermal hot springs for healing, and reshaped the landscape into forms of breathtaking, raw beauty. The monastery had to be relocated, but the mountain's purpose had dramatically expanded. It was not just a place of peace, it was also a source of transformative fire and fertile creation. Its true, complete nature included both the serene, nurturing slopes and the powerful, disruptive, creative core. We try so hard to be the serene mountain. We spiritualize our purpose into only peace, only calm, only compassion, only acceptance. We deny our inner volcano. Our passions, our righteous anger at injustice, our creative ferment, our sexual energy, our need for strong boundaries, our ambition. We label these unspiritual, negative, egotistical threats to our peaceful purpose. We suppress the fire, and in doing so, we live as half a mountain. But you are a whole ecosystem. Your purpose includes your serenity and your fire. Your compassion needs the fire of discernment to know where to apply itself. Your peace needs the fire of passion to protect what you love. Your acceptance needs the fire of transformation to change what must be changed. Your creative fire needs the serene slope to channel its energy into beautiful, lasting forms. Do not deny your volcano. Learn its rhythms. Respect its power. Let it create new, fertile landscapes in your life. A mountain that denies its fire is only half alive, and it misses its full, majestic purpose. Practice the volcanic acknowledgement. What is a fiery part of you that you typically suppress or feel ashamed of? A passion, a strong opinion, a creative impulse, a drive for achievement? Today, in a safe and constructive way, allow it to steam. Write a fiery page in a private journal. Dance to a powerful, rhythmic song alone in your room. Have a respectful but firm debate about something you care about. State a need clearly. Acknowledge to yourself, this fire is part of my wholeness. It is not my enemy. It, too, has a purpose. To create, to protect, to transform. Integrating your fire is a profound act of self-honesty and purpose. In an old observatory in Greenwich, there stood a master clock, a marvel of 19th-century engineering. Its gears were polished, its pendulum swing was perfectly measured, and its purpose was absolute, to measure the precise, quantitative passage of time, chronos. It ticked and talked, sovereign of schedules, appointments, and deadlines. One afternoon, a young apprentice was tasked with cleaning the glass case of the great clock. As he polished, a stray sunbeam from the high window struck the brass pendulum at a perfect angle, exploding into 1,000 dancing dust motes that swirled in a golden vortex. The apprentice froze, cloth in hand, utterly transfixed. In that sunbeam, for him, time stopped. There was no past, no future, no measurement, only the enchanted, dancing present. The clock continued its relentless tick-tock, but its sound faded into a distant, mechanical whisper, irrelevant to the quality of the experience happening right beside it. The head astronomer found him there, minutes later, still gazing. He didn't scold him. He simply said, "You've discovered Kairos." The apprentice looked puzzled. "Chronos," said the astronomer, pointing to the clock, "measures quantity. Kairos measures quality. It is the ripe moment, the opportune time, the moment of significance that exists outside the tick. The clock's purpose is to map the riverbank. Your purpose, in moments like these, is to be the water, feeling the sun. We live almost entirely by the clock of Chronos. We measure our purpose in achievements per hour, life milestones by decade, productivity per day. We feel we are wasting time if we are not producing, progressing, ticking forward on our linear track towards some future goal. We schedule our spirituality, our joy, our relationships into neat boxes. This tyranny creates a pervasive anxiety that we are never doing enough, never being enough, fast enough. But your purpose is not only lived in the horizontal line of Chronos. It is most deeply felt and fulfilled in vertical moments of Kairos, those moments when you are so utterly engrossed in an experience that the clock disappears. In shared laughter, in creative flow, in awe before beauty, in deep conversation, in silent understanding. In these moments, you are not moving toward purpose, you are immersed in it. Purpose is not a future destination on the clock face, it is the depth of the present moment. The difficult stretches of Chronos, the waiting, the boring, the painful, are often the very pressure that prepares us to recognize and drop into Kairos when it appears. Practice, the Kairos hunt. Today, deliberately create one clockless moment. Put your phone in another room. Set no timer. Do one thing purely for the experience of it. Stare at a tree and notice every shade of green. Listen to an entire piece of music without doing anything else. Feel the full sensation of warm water on your hands while washing them. Let yourself fall into the sunbeam of pure presence. That timelessness is not an escape from purpose, it is its very heartwood. A renowned sculptor from Florence traveled to the Bay of Fundy in search of inspiration. He was appalled by the vast mudflats exposed at low tide, a kilometers-wide expanse of thick, brown, formless goo. "This is not material for art," he scoffed to a local fisherman. "It is muck. Art requires pure marble, defined edges, a clear vision." The fisherman, mending his nets, just nodded toward the shore. The sculptor looked. A group of children were playing in the mud, utterly absorbed. They were crafting fantastic creatures, lopsided dragons with seaweed whiskers, smiling blobs with shell eyes, intricate forts with moats. Their hands and faces were smeared, their laughter was free and ringing. The mud was not an obstacle to their creativity, it was its very source, its limitless potential. The fisherman handed the sculptor a cool, dense lump of the dark mud. "Your marble," he said, "holds a form someone else imagined 1,000 years ago in a mountain. This mud, it holds every form, and none. Its purpose is pure potential. To be shaped by the joy and immediacy of the shaping hands, not by the ego that needs a permanent, impressive product. We seek a pure marble life, clean, impressive, socially sanctioned, Instagram ready. We see the mud of our lives, our messy emotions, our failed attempts, our chaotic circumstances, our mental tangles, our imperfect bodies and relationships, as worthless material, something to be cleaned up, fixed, or escaped so we can finally get to the real art of a purposeful life. But your purpose is often discovered and expressed in the mud, not after you escape it. The mud of your current experience, your grief, your confusion, your transition, your boredom, is the fertile, primal ground of potential. Your resilience is shaped there. Your compassion is formed from it. Your most authentic, surprising creations will bear the fingerprints of your intimate struggle with the formless. Do not disdain the mud. Do not wait for marble. Pick up the humble material of your present moment. See what wants to be shaped in your hands, right now, from this. The lopsided, temporary dragon of your current life may be a truer masterpiece than any idealized, distant statue. Practice the mud play. Do something intentionally messy and non-result oriented today. Finger paint with no goal. Bake something and deliberately don't follow the recipe perfectly. Write a nonsense poem or a stream of consciousness paragraph. Build a pillow fort. Let yourself be in the process, the sensation, the fun of it, without any concern for the product, its meaning, or its worth. Reconnect with the primal, joyful purpose of pure, creative engagement. Your inner child knows this purpose well. A man, overwhelmed by the pressures of his life and the world's problems, went on a retreat in the dense, old-growth forests of the Pacific Northwest. Standing among giant redwoods, he felt smaller than ever. His mind raced. I need to solve climate change, heal political divisions, find enlightenment, be a perfect partner and parent. The need is the size of this forest, and I am just one man. My purpose is impossible. I am too small. The immensity of the task crushed him. He sat down at the base of a particularly majestic tree, put his head in his hands, and wept from the weight of it all. As his tears subsided into exhaustion, then a drained quiet, his gaze, which had been darting wildly around the overwhelming vastness, settled on the single redwood right in front of him. He saw the intricate, deep pattern of its bark, like a forgotten language of ridges and furrows. He saw a single line of amber sap, a golden tear, where a branch had long ago broken. He saw a delicate spiderweb strung between two needles, each strand jeweled with dew. He noticed how the wind sounded different as it passed through the tree's particular needles, a deep, sighing whisper unlike the rustle of the ferns nearby. In studying this one, specific, ordinary tree, he wasn't understanding the whole forest, but he was knowing it, intimately, through one of its expressions. A profound sense of peace and connection settled over him. He wasn't carrying the whole forest. He was in relationship with one tree. He was never found in the sense of solving the world's problems. But he was no longer lost. He had found his purpose in that moment, to be in profound, attentive relationship with the one thing, the one person, the one task, directly in front of him. We feel the immense, paralyzing pressure to find our purpose, as if it must be a grand, world-encompassing mission. We look at the forest of global suffering, spiritual ideals, or societal expectations and feel utterly insignificant. How can my one small life matter in all this? This grandiose thinking leads to either frantic, scattered action or despairing inaction. But you are not meant to be the entire forest. You are meant to be one specific, authentic tree. Your purpose is to be that tree completely. To sink your roots deep into your own truth and patch of earth. To offer your unique shade, your particular scent, your specific pattern of branches to the sky. In doing so, you become a vital, irreplaceable part of the ecosystem. The forest needs oaks, pines, moss, fungi, and ferns. It doesn't need every tree to be the same, or to try to be the whole woods. Your focused, deep, loving presence in your own life, in your kitchen, your office, your community, is a radical and complete act of service to the whole. Start with the tree in front of you. Practice the specific attention. Choose one object or person in your immediate space, a coffee cup, a pen, a potted plant, a pet, a family member's face. For 2 full minutes, give it your complete, non-analytical attention. Study its colors, textures, nuances. If it's a person, just listen to the sound of their voice without planning your response. Don't think about its use, its story, or its problems. Just see it. Just hear it. In that deep, narrow attention to one thing, you step out of the overwhelming forest of abstraction and into the real, purposeful world of sacred connection. A medieval knight, his armor dented and scarred, his banner torn, his horse limping, returned to his king's castle after a decades-long quest. He had sought the Holy Grail, the ultimate purpose for a knight of the realm. He stood in the great hall, empty-handed, and knelt. "My liege," he said, voice hollow with failure, "I have searched every crypt, crossed every desert, scaled every mountain. I found no grail. My quest was for nothing. I have no purpose. The old king, his own face lined with wisdom, gestured for the knight to approach. Remove your helm. Your gauntlets. The knight, confused, did so, revealing a weary, weathered face and gentle hands. Now, said the king, tell me not of the Grail. Tell me of the wells you drank from when you were parched. The knight, taken aback, began to speak. He spoke of a hidden well in a desert, whose water tasted mysteriously of figs and cool stone. Of a mountain spring so cold it made his teeth ache and cleared his mind. Of a village well where an old, toothless woman shared folk tales as she drew water, and the water itself seemed to carry her stories. Tell me of the shades you rested under, the king said. The knight spoke of a great willow that wept over a stream, of the vast, cool shadow of a ruined castle at noon, of the shade of a generous farmer's barn where he was given bread and cheese. Tell me of the hands that helped you bind your wounds. He remembered a monk's gentle, sure hands cleaning a sword cut, a blacksmith's strong, soot-stained grip pulling him from a ditch, a child's small, sticky hand offering him a wilting wildflower. As he spoke, his weary face softened. His eyes, which had been fixed on the memory of failure, began to shine with the memory of these moments. He was not recounting a fruitless quest, he was recounting a life, richly and humanly lived. The king nodded slowly. You went seeking a single, sacred object to validate your life. But the Grail was not a thing to find. It was the capacity to receive the sacred in the water, the shade, and the hands. You did not fail. You simply mistook the vessel for the drink. Your purpose was the journey of receiving. And from your tale, I hear you have drunk deeply. We are the knight, clad in the heavy, impressive armor of achievement, on a relentless quest for the one shining trophy that will finally validate our existence, the perfect career, enlightenment, the ideal family, financial freedom, fame. When we don't find that specific, legendary Grail, we declare our entire life a failure, blind and numb to the daily, ordinary, sacred sustenance we received all along the way. But purpose is not a trophy to mount on the wall of your ego. It is the quality of your reception. It is your ability to taste the holiness in the simple well of a kind word, to feel grace in the offered shade of a friend's support, to see divinity in the helping hand of a stranger or the trust of a child. Your quest is not to find the Grail out there. It is to become the Grail, the open, humble, receptive vessel, for the beauty, connection, solace, and lessons that life is constantly, quietly pouring into you. The difficult miles, they made you thirsty enough to truly, gratefully taste the water. Take off the armor. Feel your hands. Remember the wells. Practice the Grail remembrance. Before you sleep tonight, lie still. Recall 3 wells from your day. 1. A moment of simple sustenance, a good meal, a cool breeze, a warm bed. 2. A moment of shade, a respite, a kindness received, a moment of peace. 3. A moment of a helping hand, aid you gave or received, however small. Feel genuine gratitude for these not as distractions from your grand quest, but as the very substance of it. You are the vessel, and your life, in all its ordinary glory, is filling you. A woman stood at a fork in a deep, red rock canyon in Arizona. After much deliberation, she chose the left-hand path. It led her through stunning slot canyons, to ancient petroglyphs, and eventually to a hidden oasis where she built a simple life. It was good. It was meaningful. But as years passed, she would sometimes sit at sunset and look back toward the fork, now far behind her. A familiar ache would arise. What wonders did I miss on the right-hand path? What version of me is living that life? What was that life's purpose? Did I choose wrong? The canyon, having witnessed this human dilemma for millennia, seemed to answer one still evening. The wind, whistling through a narrow pass, carried a whisper that wasn't quite a voice. You speak as if the other path disappeared when you turned your back. It did not. It is still there, being walked. By whom? She whispered into the vast space. By other versions of the choice, the wind seemed to sigh. In the infinite tapestry of what is possible, every sincere path is walked. You are not the woman who missed the right-hand path. You are the woman living the left-hand one. Your purpose is not to have lived all paths, but to live this one so deeply, so authentically, that you honor the very act of choosing by the fullness of your presence on your own. We torture ourselves with the ghosts of unchosen paths, the career we didn't pursue, the person we didn't marry, the country we didn't move to, the risk we didn't take. We construct elaborate, idealistic fantasies of a parallel, more purposeful, happier, us, living on that other road, and in comparison, we feel like a pale ghost in our own actual life. But this is a profound and painful trick of the mind. Your purpose is inextricably linked to the path you are on. The lessons, the loves, the strengths, the very compassion you are developing are specific to this terrain, shaped by these stones and this weather. The other path would have yielded a different set of lessons and a different version of you. To pine for it is to reject the unique, holy curriculum of your own actual journey. Your task is not to regret the fork, but to walk your chosen path with such awake, tender attention that its purpose reveals itself in every stone, every vista, every challenging climb. In doing so, you fulfill the divine potential of this reality completely. You honor all choices by living yours wholeheartedly. Practice the path commitment. Right now, feel your feet on the floor. Feel your body in the chair. This is your path. This breath is on this path. Say softly to yourself, I am here. This is my canyon. I choose to see its beauty, learn from its challenges, and trust that its purpose is unfolding for me, not for a phantom version of myself I imagine elsewhere. Whenever regret for another path arises, feel your feet again. Feel your breath. You are here. Your purpose is here. Be here fully. In the garden of a remote Japanese temple, a young pine tree grew beside a flowering cherry. Each spring, the cherry tree exploded in a cloud of pink blossoms, drawing pilgrims from afar who sighed at its beauty and wrote poems in its honor. The pine watched, its needles green and steady, its form quiet. It began to feel a deep lack. I have no beautiful blossoms, it mourned to the temple gardener. I bear no sweet fruit. My form is plain and unchanging. What is my purpose? The old gardener said nothing. He simply tended to both trees. That summer, a fierce typhoon struck the coast. Winds howled, and torrential rain lashed the garden. The cherry tree, laden with leaves and shallow-rooted, was battered. Many of its graceful branches snapped. Its showy blossoms were long gone, offering no comfort. The pine tree, however, stood firm. Its flexible needles shed the rain, its deep, widespread roots gripped the earth with unseen strength. After the storm, the gardener came to survey the damage. He placed a grateful hand on the pine's rough trunk. "Thank you," he whispered. "Your roots held the earth. Your constancy was a shelter in the storm. Your purpose is not to feed the eyes in spring, but to anchor the ground in autumn. Your fruit is resilience. Your blossom is steadfastness." Beneath the soil, unseen, the pine's roots had done something more. They had woven a vast, symbiotic network with the roots of the cherry tree and even the temple walls, sharing nutrients and creating a hidden web of stability that benefited the entire garden. The cherry's beauty was possible because of the pine's invisible, supportive work. We judge our purpose by visible, showy, tangible outcomes, titles, awards, social media likes, public praise, obvious productivity. We feel purposeless if we aren't producing obvious, admired fruit. We discount the quiet, underground work, the inner stability we cultivate, the private integrity we uphold, the silent endurance through personal storms, the unseen emotional support we provide. But some of the most vital purposes are subterranean, relational, and sustaining. Your calm, steady presence might be the root system holding someone else's emotional ground. Your quiet listening might be the hidden nutrient for a struggling friend. Your private ethical stand might be the web that strengthens your community's moral fabric in ways no one will ever see. Your difficult season, your own personal drought or storm, might be forcing your roots to grow deeper and wider, connecting you to reservoirs of patience and compassion you never knew you had. This unseen growth is your purpose, preparing you to be an anchor in future storms. Trust the work beneath the surface. Practice the subterranean scan. Ask yourself quietly, what is my unseen root work today? What quality am I nurturing that may not have a visible, immediate result? Is it patience with a difficult process? Is it perseverance in a private, unglamorous struggle? Is it the simple, daily act of choosing kindness over irritation? Honor that work. Water it with your own respect and attention. Do not demand a flower for it today. Trust that this root work is a profound and essential purpose, holding up the visible garden of your life and the lives you touch. On the great Ganges River in Varanasi, a ferryman named Dev had spent his life rowing pilgrims from the bustling Ghats to the quiet opposite shore. He took great pride in his knowledge of the river's every mood, his strong strokes, his ability to navigate the treacherous currents. He felt his purpose was clear. To be the best ferryman, to own the best boat, to be the one people requested by name for this sacred crossing. One night, a terrible storm blew in. Monsoon rains churned the holy river into a roaring, chaotic monster. A desperate family, needing to cross for a funeral rite, begged him for passage. Against his better judgment, seeing their grief, he agreed. Midway across, a colossal wave, invisible in the dark, swamped the boat. All were thrown into the furious, cold water. Dev, a powerful swimmer, fought with all his might against the current to save his passengers and himself. He thrashed, he strained, but the river was overwhelming. He was exhausted, on the verge of drowning. In his final moment of strength, a memory surfaced, his grandfather's voice telling of the river's Antardhara, the inner current, a deep, calm flow that always moves toward the sea beneath the storm-tossed surface. Stop fighting the surface, the memory said. Find the depth. Dev stopped struggling. He went still, even as the waves crashed over him. He focused his awareness downward, through the chaos, and sensed it, a powerful, silent pull. He surrendered to it, gesturing for the family to do the same. They were carried, not by his frantic effort, but by the ancient intelligence of the river itself, washing up, coughing and alive, on the distant bank miles downstream. Sitting on the mud in the dawn light, Dev was humbled. He realized he had never truly been the one doing the crossing. He was a facilitator, a temporary guide, but the river, life itself, was the real force of passage. His purpose was not to own the journey or its outcome, but to know the river so intimately that he could align himself with its deeper wisdom, especially when the surface was terrifying. His skill was in surrender to a greater flow. We think we are the ferryman who must muscle our way to our purpose through sheer willpower, strategy, and control. We burn out trying to row against the current of circumstance, to force outcomes, to make the crossing happen our way. But your true purpose may be to develop the sensitivity to feel the deeper current, the flow of intuition, synchronicity, grace, life's own intelligent direction, and to surrender your small, frantic efforts to it. You are not the creator of the river, you are a conscious, participating part of its flow. Helping others is not about carrying them on your back, but helping them sense and trust that deeper current within their own storm. Practice the deeper current. In a moment of struggle, resistance, or forced effort today, pause. Put down your mental oars. Instead of forcing an action, ask inwardly, what is the deeper current here? What is the flow of this situation if I stop fighting it? Listen not with your planning mind, but with your gut, your heart, your intuition. It might feel like a subtle leaning, a quiet knowing, a sense of rightness or ease. It often feels softer than willpower. Try aligning with that feeling, even in a tiny way, a small concession, a change of approach, a moment of waiting. See if the struggle lessens. Your purpose is to learn to navigate by this deeper flow, not by the storm on the surface. The Vienna Philharmonic was rehearsing a profound and complex symphony by Mahler. In one movement, the composer had written a directive that puzzled a new violinist: general pause, a grand pause, where the entire orchestra stops playing for 4 full beats. The violinist turned to the concertmaster. Why would we stop? Our purpose is to play, to make music. This silence is nothing. The concertmaster, an elderly man with kind eyes, shook his head. The silence is not nothing. It is the most carefully composed part of the passage. It is the breath that holds the phrase together. It is the space where the audience absorbs the emotion of what came before and anticipates what is to come. It is the shadow that gives shape to the light. If we play through it, we destroy the architecture of the piece. Our purpose now is not to make sound, but to hold the collective intention of silence, poised, present, and utterly precise. We have conflated purpose with constant noise, constant doing, producing, achieving, fixing, talking. We see stillness, rest, silence, and even sleep as gaps in productivity, as failures of purpose. We feel guilty for doing nothing. We fill every silence with podcasts, every pause with scrolling, afraid of the empty space. But you are not just an instrument of doing. You are also the concert hall of being. The silent bars are as meticulously composed as the sounding ones. Your purpose includes your receptivity, your integration, your rest. These are not pauses from purpose. They are essential, active phases of purpose. They are where meaning is digested, where intuition speaks, where the body repairs, where you recharge to play the next passage of your life with clarity and depth. A life of constant noise is just cacophony. A purposeful life has rhythm, dynamics, crescendos, and sacred, intentional silence. The general pause is not empty, it is full of potential. Practice the composed silence. Schedule 5 minutes of composed silence today. Sit or lie down comfortably. Do not meditate, pray, or intend to achieve anything. You are not waiting for the next note. You are the rest. Imagine you are a vital player in a grand symphony, and this is your written, purposeful pause. Be silent with the same focus, dignity, and importance as if you were playing a brilliant solo. Feel the fullness of the silence. This silence is not laziness, it is an essential part of your life's music. It is purposeful being. In a sunlit workshop in Guatemala, a master weaver named Ixchel was creating a magnificent hupel, a traditional blouse, its patterns telling the story of her Mayan community. Deep into the intricate work, her tired hand slipped. A thread of vivid crimson, meant for a later part of the design, was woven into a section of serene blue sky. A glaring, wrong line cut across the pattern. Her apprentice gasped. "Maestra! It's ruined. All these weeks of work." Ixchel studied the mistake, her face calm. She did not reach to unravel the cloth. Instead, she sat back, sipped her tea, and looked at the rogue thread. Then, she picked up her shuttle again. She began to weave around the crimson line, incorporating it. She changed the blue sky pattern, allowing the red to become the rising sun, and from it, she wove new rays extending out across the fabric. The flaw became the radiant, unexpected centerpiece of the design. The finished hupel was more striking, more unique, and more treasured than the original plan. It became known as Ixchel's sunrise. We believe our purpose must follow a perfect, preordained pattern, the right life script, the flawless execution of a plan we or others set for us. When we make a mistake, a wrong career move, a failed relationship, a financial misstep, a public blunder, we think our life's tapestry is ruined. We want to unravel years, to go back and undo the single, wrong thread, often causing more damage in the process. But the universe is the master weaver. Your so-called mistakes are often the precise points where a new, more authentic, more creative, and more beautiful pattern wants to emerge. Your purpose is not to execute a prefabricated design perfectly. It is to weave with the threads you are given, including the unexpected, wrong, colored ones of failure and detour. And to adapt the pattern with courage, creativity, and acceptance. The flaw, when met with love and ingenuity, becomes the feature that makes your life's tapestry uniquely, powerfully yours. The broken pattern is an invitation to co-create. Practice the flaw embrace. Bring to mind a recent mistake or unexpected detour in your life's plan, something that felt like a ruinous thread. Instead of lamenting it or trying to mentally erase it, ask with curiosity. How can I adjust the pattern around this? What new direction, what unexpected beauty, might this rogue thread be pointing me toward? Make one small internal or external adjustment today that accepts and begins to incorporate the flaw into a new design. This is the art of active, fearless co-creation with destiny. A beeswax candle sat in a drawer of a sunny kitchen, grumbling to itself. My purpose is to give light. But I am only ever brought out at night, or during power outages, in the darkness. During the glorious, bright day, I am ignored, left in this drawer. My true calling is wasted. I am pointless in the light. One afternoon, a little girl rushed into the kitchen, pulling her mother along. It's time for the cake. It was the girl's birthday. The mother opened the drawer, lifted out the candle, and fixed it firmly to the top of a brilliantly sunlit cake covered in frosting and sprinkles. The candle was confused. It was broad daylight. The sun streamed through the windows. Its flame, when lit, was a tiny, almost invisible flicker against the ambient light. But then the family gathered round. Their faces, smiling and expectant, all turned toward it. They took a deep, collective breath, their attention focused on that tiny point of fire. Then, they began to sing. In that moment, the candle understood. Its purpose in that moment wasn't to illuminate the room, the sun did that. Its purpose was to be a focus point for celebration, a ritual marker of a sacred, joyful human moment. Its light was not measured in lumens, but in the shared intention, love, and tradition it held. It was a beacon of meaning, not of visibility. We believe our purpose is only relevant, only lit up, during the dark nights of the soul, the crises, the struggles, the times of obvious suffering and need. We feel pointless, or like we're on vacation from purpose, during the daylight of ordinary, happy, stable, peaceful times. I'm not helping anyone. I'm not achieving anything grand. I'm just living. This can't be it. But purpose is not just for the storms. It is also for the calm, sunny days. Your purpose in peaceful times might be to be a focus point for gratitude and celebration. To be a stable marker of love and routine for those around you. To practice and embody joy, contentment, and simple peace so fully that it becomes a quiet, radiant gift to a world obsessed with drama and deficit. The candle's flame matters in the daylight because it represents a conscious human choice to celebrate, to mark time, to come together in acknowledgement of life's sweetness. Your peaceful happiness is not a vacation from purpose, it is one of its most beautiful, and often most challenging, expressions. To be fully present in joy is a high art. Practice the daylight celebration. Today, in the middle of an ordinary, good moment, a satisfying sip of coffee, a warm patch of sun on your skin, the completion of a small task, pause. Mentally, light a candle of acknowledgement. Dedicate that moment to pure, unadulterated appreciation. Say to yourself, this peace, this simple joy, is also my purpose. To fully inhabit it, to taste it completely, is a sacred act. Do not rush through it. Your conscious enjoyment is purpose in action. In the wetlands of the Everglades, an ecologist spent years charting the flow of water through the sawgrass prairies. She created detailed maps showing channels, alligator holes, and the subtle rise and fall of the land. Her maps were precise, scientific, and vital for conservation. One day, she took a young student out in her airboat. As they glided through the endless green, she showed him her laminated map. He studied it, then looked at the vast, living, breathing expanse around them. But the map is already wrong, he said, not to be rude, but observant. She smiled. Of course it is. The water moves. The channels shift after every storm. The gators make new holes. The map is a snapshot of a relationship that is alive and changing. Its purpose is not to be the territory. She then killed the engine, letting the boat drift into a quiet cove. She dipped her paddle into the tea-colored water and drew a large, flowing circle on its surface. This, she said, as the perfect shape immediately began to distort and vanish into the greater flow, is also a map. It exists only in the moment of its making, in direct relationship with the water itself. Its purpose is not to last, but to be true to the now of the river. The student watched the last ripple fade. So which map do we follow? The one in your hand is for memory and planning, she said. But the one you draw with your paddle, moment by moment, is for living. Don't cling to the laminated version and miss the living water. Your purpose is in the drawing, not in the preservation of the line. We are the ecologist with our laminated life maps, our 5-year plans, our rigid identities, our fixed ideas of what our purpose should look like. We cling to these maps, terrified when the living territory of our lives changes and the map no longer matches. We think we are lost, when in truth, we are just in a new, unmapped part of the river. But life is the water, not the map. Your deepest purpose is the living experience of being in the flow, responding to the current now, feeling the cool wetness this instant. Any concept of purpose you hold is already a map of a river that has moved on. The ultimate practice is to let go of the laminated map, the need to define, understand, and fix your purpose. And to simply be the living, sensing, responding presence that you are, drawing your circle moment by moment on the water, then letting it go. Your hands are empty. Your eyes are clear. The water is moving. This is it. Practice the water drawing. Tonight, take a shower or wash your hands. Feel the water on your skin. As you do, imagine that your thoughts about your life's purpose are like lines drawn in that water. Watch them appear and then vanish without a trace in the greater flow. Don't try to hold them. Just feel the water. Whisper to yourself, I am not the map. I am the water, and the hand that draws upon it. This is the freedom of purpose unbounded by form. In a protected grove in California, a giant, ancient bristlecone pine stood, its wood dense and twisted by millennia of wind. One spring, a tiny green shoot emerged from the cracked soil near its base. The ancient tree, feeling its own incredible age, thought, "Little one, you are so small, so soft. What can you possibly do? I have stood for 5,000 years. I have witnessed the rise and fall of climates. My purpose is immense, written in my rings. Yours is, what? A maybe." The shoot said nothing. It just turned its face toward the sun. It grew. In time, it became a sapling, then a young tree. It did not try to be the ancient pine. It became a vibrant, healthy young tree in its own right. Birds nested in its softer branches. It helped purify the thin mountain air. It added its own fresh life to the forest. The old pine watched, and its understanding deepened. Its own purpose was not greater than the young trees, it was different in scale and time. The forest needed both, the ancient wisdom and weather-hardened stability of the elder, and the fresh, flexible, vigorous life of the new. Purpose was not a competition across generations. It was a continuum. The old tree's legacy was not just in its own incredible rings, but in the sheltered microclimate and protected soil that allowed the new shoot to rise at all. We worry desperately about our legacy, about being remembered, about making a mark that lasts, about building something that won't be forgotten. We feel our small, daily life is insufficient if it doesn't build towards something monumental and enduring. This anxiety can make us force our growth in unnatural ways, or despair at our perceived smallness. But your purpose is not only in what endures after you in stone and memory. It is in how you participate in the continuum of life now. Are you, like the young tree, reaching healthily for the light? Are you providing shelter in your own way? Are you contributing to the health of the ecosystem around you, however modestly? That is a complete and noble purpose. You may be the ancient tree for someone else, offering shade and wisdom, or you may be the new shoot, bringing vitality and hope. Your role is not to judge its scale against the ages, but to play it fully, authentically, now. The forest doesn't need every tree to be a bristlecone. It needs every tree to be fully, uniquely itself. That is legacy enough. Practice, the continuum contribution. Do one thing today that benefits the forest, without your name attached, without it building your personal monument. Pick up litter in a park. Donate anonymously to a cause. Mentor someone quietly, asking for no credit. Send an encouraging note without expecting one back. See yourself not as a solo monument builder, but as a living, breathing cell in a vast, enduring organism. Your healthy, conscious participation in the flow of life is the true legacy. Remember the village plunged into the long, moonless night. After they had brought their lamps to the square and created a pool of communal light, dawn finally began to break. The strange celestial eclipse passed. As the first fingers of pink and gold stretched across the horizon, the lamps were no longer needed to push back the absolute dark. But no one blew their lamps out. Instead, as they went about their day, to the forge, the loom, the field, the kitchen, they carried their lit lanterns with them. The light was no longer a desperate defense against terror, it had become a gentle companion for the day's work. They had learned that the light wasn't just for the absolute dark, it was for seeing each other's faces more clearly in the soft morning light, for noticing the fine details of their craft, for adding a warm, intentional glow to the ordinary tasks of building and mending and nurturing. The collective dark had taught them how to be carriers of light, and now they carried that skill, that identity, into the light of day. We often think our purpose is only activated in crisis, in helping during obvious, dramatic suffering. When things are normal or good, we put our lamp away on a shelf. We go back to just living, as if purpose has clocked out. But the purpose forged in the dark, the wisdom, the compassion, the patience you carved out of hardship, is meant to illuminate the day. Your hard-won calm is for navigating daily stress. Your deepened empathy is for understanding your colleague's minor frustration. Your practiced patience is for the slow line at the grocery store. Your purpose doesn't end when the storm passes. It evolves. It becomes subtler, woven into the very fabric of the everyday. You become a person who carries an inner lantern always, making the mundane brighter, kinder, and more deeply seen. You don't just help in emergencies, you illuminate the ordinary. This is the maturation of purpose, from a tool for survival to a quality of being. Practice, the daylight lantern. Today, consciously bring one quality you've developed through past difficulty, resilience, empathy, patience, courage, into a peaceful, ordinary moment. Use your patience in a slow traffic jam. Use your empathy to imagine the cashier's long day. Use your courage to speak a small, kind truth. Your light is not just for the night. Shine it now, in the plain light of day. This is purpose in its most integrated form. A man lived in a state of constant, exhausting inner conflict. One part of him, he called it the guest, was desperate to be entertained, fulfilled, pleased, and validated by life. It was always complaining, "This isn't good enough. I'm bored. I should be happier. Do they like me?" Another part, the host, felt entirely responsible for making everything perfect for this demanding guest. It scrambled to control outcomes, ensure comfort, arrange successes, and placate the guests' endless critiques. The host was always exhausted, always failing, because the guest was never satisfied. Burned out, the man went to a retreat deep in the Austrian Alps. He confessed his turmoil to a gentle teacher there. The teacher listened and said, "You have confused who is the guest and who is the host in your own house." "What do you mean?" the man asked. "The thoughts, the desires, the complaints, the fears, the moods, these are the guests. They come and go. They are temporary visitors. Your true self, the aware, spacious presence that notices all of this coming and going, is the host. The host does not fight the guests, argue with them, or try to please them. The host simply provides the space, observes them with courtesy, and lets them pass through. Your fundamental purpose is not to be a perfect servant to the demanding guest ego. Your purpose is to be the unwavering, gracious, spacious host. We live at the mercy of our thoughts and feelings, the guests, believing they define us and our purpose. If we feel uninspired, we think we're off purpose. If we feel anxious, we think we're failing. If we feel joyful, we think we've found it. We try to control the guests, to arrange life so only good guests, positive thoughts, pleasant feelings, show up. This is an impossible, exhausting task that puts the temporary visitors in charge of the eternal house. Your core purpose is to be the host, the conscious, spacious, loving awareness that is prior to all coming and going phenomena. From this stable, central seat, you can engage with life without being tyrannized by it. You can work, love, and create, not because a demanding guest ego demands achievement for validation, but because the host enjoys the inherent activity of the house itself. Helping others then becomes a natural extension of the host's grace, offering spacious care to another being. Difficult situations are just stormy, unruly guests arriving at the door. The host's job is not to panic or bar the door, but to open it, let the weather in, provide shelter, and know, from the depth of itself, that this too will pass. Practice the host meditation. Sit for 5 minutes. Imagine your awareness as a vast, calm, empty mansion. See every thought, feeling, and bodily sensation as a guest arriving at the front door. Simply note, a guest of worry has arrived. A guest of planning is here. Don't invite them in for a long stay and tea. Don't slam the door in their face. Just acknowledge their arrival from the porch of your awareness. Let them come, and let them go. Rest as the spacious, empty mansion itself. This is your core identity and purpose, to be the host, not the drama of the passing guests. A pilgrim arrived at the foot of the ancient Camino de Santiago in Spain. He looked up at the path disappearing over the first of many hills, knowing it stretched for 500 miles to the cathedral. A wave of overwhelming dread hit him. How can I possibly walk all that way? My feet will fail. My spirit will break. The purpose is at the end, and the end is so impossibly far. An old woman, a local who had seen thousands of pilgrims, was selling shells by the trail. She saw his face. She picked up a single, worn cobblestone from the path and placed it in his palm. "You are holding a problem," she said. "What problem?" he asked. "You are thinking of walking 500 miles. That is the problem. You never have to walk 500 miles. She closed his fingers over the stone. "You only ever have to walk from this stone," she tapped his hand, "to the next stone." She pointed to the one just ahead on the path. The path is made of nothing but single stones, placed one after the other. Your purpose is not in the cathedral. It is in the quality of your step from this stone to that one. Take care of this step. Then the next. The cathedral will take care of itself. We look at the grand question, what is the purpose of my life, and feel overwhelmed. It seems like a massive, lifelong journey to figure out, a huge mountain to climb. We want to see the whole route, the entire blueprint. This big picture anxiety paralyzes us, makes us not want to take the first step because the distance seems so great. But your life is not lived in the big picture. It is lived on this stone. In this breath. In this choice. Your purpose is not a distant cathedral you must grimly, exhaustedly trek toward. It is encoded in the quality of this step. Are you taking it with awareness? With kindness toward your body? With integrity? With a touch of curiosity? If this single step is taken with presence, it is a purposeful step. A life of such steps is a purposeful life, regardless of the apparent altitude or distance reached. The difficult stretches are just steps with more challenging terrain, muddy stones, steep stones. Their purpose is not to block you, but to demand more presence, more care, more strength for this single step. When you focus only on the stone your foot is on, the overwhelming length of the journey dissolves. You are always at the beginning, and you are always arriving, in each step. Practice, the step of now. Choose one minor, routine task you have to do today, replying to an email, washing a dish, walking to the mailbox. For the duration of that task, let your entire universe shrink to the single step you are taking. If washing a dish, see only that dish, feel only the water and soap. If typing a sentence, be only with the choosing of that word. Let there be no past step and no future step. Only this one. Do it completely. In that microcosm of full engagement, you will find the entire macrocosm of purpose. In 18th century Vienna, a brilliant but troubled composer died suddenly, leaving his symphony unfinished. Only the first movement was fully orchestrated, the rest existed as fragments of melody and sketched ideas. For a century, the manuscript lay in an archive, considered a tragic fragment of lost potential, a masterpiece that never was. A young conductor, exploring the archives, found it. He didn't see an unfinished work. He saw a perfect, complete, and breathtaking first movement. He decided to perform just that. The night of the concert, the single, finished movement was played with passion and precision. As the final, haunting note hung in the hall, there was a profound, collective silence, not of disappointment, but of awe. Then, roaring applause. The audience wasn't lamenting what wasn't there. They were overcome by the beauty and wholeness of what was, a perfect, full expression that stood powerfully on its own. We think our life must be a completed symphony, a full, neat arc from birth to perfected wisdom, with all movements resolved. We fear death, or failure, or irrelevance, because it would mean our song is unfinished. We judge our lives by how close we are to some imagined finale of achievement, enlightenment, or legacy. We see ourselves as works in progress, never quite whole. But what if your life is like that first movement? It doesn't need 4 movements to be complete. It is complete in each authentic note, each true phrase of living. Your purpose is not to reach a final, thunderous chord of ultimate achievement. Your purpose is to play the movement you are in, the movement of youth, of middle age, of elderhood, or even a movement of illness, transition, or quiet reflection. With as much truth, beauty, and presence as you can. Whether it's a short scherzo or a long adagio, it is a complete piece of music in the great, endless concert of existence. The difficult passages are the dissonant chords, the minor keys, the pauses. They are not mistakes, they are essential for the music's emotional depth, truth, and catharsis. A song of only major chords is shallow and untrue. Your unfinished song, with its glorious mix of joy and sorrow, effort and rest, is a masterpiece of authenticity. It is enough. Practice, the movement of today. Think of today as a single, short movement in your personal symphony. It has a beginning, waking, development, your activities and interactions, and an end, sleeping. Don't worry about yesterday's movement or tomorrow's. Ask yourself, what is the unique tone, tempo, and mood of today's movement? How can I play it with integrity? Live the day with that awareness. Let it be a complete expression, however simple or complex. Your purpose is fulfilled in playing today's notes well, not in composing a finale you may never see. In a bustling Medina in Fez, Morocco, a tourist stood marveling at a magnificent tapestry hanging in a shop. It was a complex geometric pattern, vibrant with color, flawless in its execution. "You must be a genius," the tourist said to the master weaver sitting at the loom. "This is a masterpiece." The weaver, an old man with patient hands, shook his head. "You honor me, but I cannot take such credit. I follow the pattern passed down from my teacher, who learned from his. The wool comes from sheep herded by the Berbers in the mountains. The deep red dye comes from poppies grown in the valley. The indigo is from a plant traded across the desert. The loom was built by a carpenter whose father was also a carpenter. The design holds meanings older than my grandfather's grandfather. My hands are but the last in a chain of 10,000 hands, seen and unseen, stretching back through time. The beauty emerges from the whole chain. I am a participant, grateful to play my part. I am not a sole creator. We want our purpose to be our creation, our masterpiece, for which we get credit and recognition. This ego-driven need can sour our work, isolate us, and make us see others as competitors or mere tools for our vision. It turns contribution into a transaction for personal glory. But your purpose is not to be the visible, celebrated head weaver. It is to be a conscious, skillful, grateful link in the infinite chain. You may be the shepherd, the dyer, the spinner, the designer, the one who maintains the loom, or the one who weaves the final thread. Your contribution, though possibly invisible to history, is essential. The sandwich you make, the report you file, the street you clean, the child you soothe, the kindness you offer, these are threads you weave into the collective tapestry. When you help others, you are not a hero descending to aid the helpless. You are one thread gently tightening a loose stitch in another part of the fabric, which strengthens the whole piece, which includes you. Purpose often feels most fulfilling when the sense of, "I did this," falls away, and you feel yourself simply as a grateful instrument of a larger, beautiful, eternal process. Practice the chain of gratitude. Think of one thing you will use or do today: a meal, a piece of technology, a paved road. Mentally trace back the chain of unseen hands that brought it to you: farmers, miners, engineers, truckers, designers, ancestors who developed the ideas. Feel the awe of that interconnectedness. Now, feel your own work today as your contribution to this endless chain for others. Do your task with the intention of being a reliable, caring link. Release the need for your name to be on the finished product. Your purpose is the quality of your participation in the sacred weave. A man wandered into a deep, dark cave, carrying an unlit candle. "I seek the light," he called out, his voice echoing. "I have heard there is a source of illumination in here." A voice, calm and close, replied from the darkness. "If you seek light, why do you carry a candle?" "To light it when I find the source of light," the man said. "But you are holding the source," said the voice. "The wax and wick are ready. The spark is in your own hand. You have been waiting to find a light out there, while carrying everything needed to be the light, right here. You are seeking a flame, while standing in a room full of fuel, with matches in your pocket. Strike the match." We search for purpose as if it is an external flame that will suddenly ignite us from the outside. We wait for the perfect teacher, the perfect sign, the perfect opportunity, the perfect relationship to light us up. We hold our lives, our potential, our talents, our passions, like an unlit candle, waiting for a permission or a catalyst we believe exists outside ourselves. But the capacity for purpose, awareness, love, creativity, courage, is already within you, like the wax and wick. That spark is your own intention, your own decision to be present, to engage, to care, to begin. You are not waiting to be ignited by a purpose. You are the combustible material. Your will is the match. Your life is the candle. The difficult situations are often the friction that creates the spark. The pain, the urgency, the rock-bottom moment, these can be the striking of the match against the rough surface of reality. They force a fundamental decision. To remain in the dark of despair, or to use the friction to ignite your own light. Your purpose begins the moment you decide to stop seeking an external flame and strike your own match. Practice the match strike. Identify one area of your life where you feel, in the dark, waiting for something external to change before you can begin, waiting for a job offer, someone's approval, more confidence, more money. Now, ask. What is one small match I can strike right now to bring my own light to this situation? It could be updating your resume, not sending it, just updating it. It could be offering a kind word without expecting one back. It could be taking a single, small step toward a skill. The action is the strike. The light is the courage and agency you feel in taking it. You are the source. Ignite yourself. A river flowed through a parched savanna in Kenya, its banks a ribbon of lush green. A Maasai warrior, after a long journey, knelt and drank from it deeply, gratefully. Thank you, river, for your purpose of quenching thirst, he said. The river, if it could speak, might have said, I do not have a purpose of quenching thirst. I flow. The quenching happens where my water meets your need. I am not aiming for it. I am just being water. I do not drink myself, I simply am, and in my being, I sustain. The warrior understood. The river's purpose was not a goal in its mind. It was an inherent quality of its being that naturally resulted in benefit wherever it met need. The river did not evaluate itself, wondering if it was being river enough. It just flowed. We are painfully self-conscious about our purpose. We think, am I doing it right? Is this my true calling? Am I helping enough? Am I on the right path? This self-referential loop is exhausting and often paralyzing. It's like the river trying to decide if it's being sufficiently wet. It pulls us out of the flow and into the stagnant pond of self-analysis. But what if you are like the river? Your purpose is not a thought you have, a goal you strain toward. It is the natural consequence of you being fully, authentically yourself. When you are genuine, your kindness naturally touches others. Your curiosity naturally leads to learning. Your creativity naturally produces beauty. You don't need to aim to help, you simply need to be clear water, honest, present, flowing. And the helping happens at the banks where your being meets another's need. Stop trying to drink your own water. Stop evaluating your purpose from the inside. Just flow. Be honest. Be present. Be kind. The thirst quenching in the world around you is the evidence of your purpose, not its prerequisite. The difficult situations are the rocks and bends that shape your flow, they don't stop you from being water. Practice the flowing action. Do something today simply because it feels true and natural to you, not because it fits a purposeful narrative. Call a friend because you miss them, not to check a good friend box. Work on a project because you're engrossed in it, not to build a legacy. Take a walk because your body wants to move. Let go of the inner commentary, is this my purpose? Just be in the flow of the action. Notice how, without aiming, your authentic action nourishes something or someone, including yourself. A woman had a vivid dream. She was in an infinite, silent library. Each book had her name on the spine, but each told a completely different life story. In one, she was a fisherman in a Norwegian fjord. In another, an astrophysicist in Chile. In another, a weaver in Guatemala, a mother of 12 in a bustling Mumbai apartment, a wandering hermit in the Himalayas, a gardener in Cornwall, a lawyer in Toronto. She pulled book after book, amazed and overwhelmed by the vast diversity of lives she was living. A librarian, a being of soft light, appeared. Which one is my true life? My real purpose? The woman asked, desperate for the correct answer. The librarian smiled. They are all true. They are all you. In this library, you are not a single character with a single plot. You are the consciousness that experiences every possible story. The purpose is not in any one narrative. The purpose is in the reading, the experiencing, the knowing, the feeling of all these facets of being. Your waking life is simply the book you have your hand on right now. Read it well. But do not mistake it for the only book. We are obsessed with finding our one true story. We think we must choose the correct path, the correct identity, or we will have wasted our only chance. This creates immense fear of making the wrong choice, of taking a detour. We see our life as a single, linear narrative that must be perfect. But from a broader, perhaps soul-level perspective, your essence might be the experiencer itself, not the specific costume, setting, or plot. Your purpose, then, is to experience this story, the one you are in, fully, consciously, and lovingly. Whether you are a fisherman or a physicist in this incarnation, the core purpose remains: to be aware, to learn, to love, to contribute from that place of conscious presence. This view liberates you from the anxiety of a single, correct purpose. It allows you to embrace your current life as a valid, meaningful, and fascinating volume in an infinite library. You can pour yourself into it without the fear that you are missing your real life elsewhere. Helping others is simply one character helping another within the grand story. Difficult situations are just gripping, necessary plot twists in this particular volume. Practice, the book of now. Look around you. See your current life as a book you are currently reading and writing simultaneously. Give this chapter a title. Chapter 34, The Career Change, or Chapter 12, Learning Patience, or Chapter 8, The Year of Grief. Read this chapter with deep curiosity, as if you picked it up from the shelf and are captivated by its plot. Don't judge it against the other books on the shelf. Engage with its unique drama, its characters, its lessons. Your purpose is to be the most present, compassionate reader and author of this book, right now. A cloud formed over the Pacific, driven by prevailing winds. It looked at other clouds, the defined, puffy cumulus, the wispy, high cirrus, and grew anxious. I must find my true form. What kind of cloud am I? What is my purpose? It tried desperately to hold a shape, but the wind kept shifting it. It felt chaotic, pointless. Finally, a powerful jet stream swept it high over the Sierra Nevada mountains. Below, it saw a landscape suffering from drought, cracked earth, wilting trees. Without thinking, without deciding what shape it was supposed to be, it began to release its rain. It poured itself out until it was just a thin veil of mist, almost nothing. As it faded, dissolving, it didn't hear with ears but felt a sound from below. It was the sound of roots drinking, of leaves unfurling, of a dry creek bed beginning to gurgle. In its utter self-giving, it understood. Its purpose was not to maintain a particular, impressive form or identity. Its purpose was to be rain when the mountain was thirsty. Tomorrow, the sun would lift that water back up, and it would become a new cloud, with a new journey, a new form. The purpose was in the responsive giving, not in the permanence of the form. We cling to a fixed identity. I am a doctor, I am an entrepreneur, I am a caregiver, I am a survivor. We believe our purpose is tied to maintaining and optimizing this identity. When life's winds change, we lose the job, the children leave home, our health shifts, and we can no longer hold that shape, we feel lost, as if our purpose has died. But you are not a fixed form. You are a process, like a cloud. Your purpose is fluid, responsive, emerging from the needs of the moment and your capacity to give what you are made of. The difficult winds, the job loss, the empty nest, the unexpected change, are not destroying your purpose. They are dissolving a fixed form so you can become rain for a new terrain. Your purpose is not your title. It is your availability to be used by life, to pour yourself out in service of what is authentically in front of you, even if it means your old self dissolves. Tomorrow, you will gather again into a new form. Practice the cloud meditation. Look at the sky, or close your eyes and imagine a cloud. See its ever-changing form, no two moments the same. Now, feel your own sense of I. Feel it as equally fluid, a temporary gathering of thoughts, feelings, and roles. Ask, without clinging to the cloud form of my job, my role, my story, what is the rain I can give today? Your rain might be patience for a coworker, a kind word to a stranger, a moment of fully listening. Let your identity be as flexible as weather. Your purpose is in the precipitation, not in the permanence. A Zen master and his student were walking on a mountain path on a clear autumn night. The master pointed to the full, brilliant moon hanging in the black sky. "See," he said. "That is like true nature. That is peace." The student, earnest and devoted, stared intently at the master's pointing finger. He admired its shape, its angle, the way it precisely indicated the direction. He committed the sight of the finger to memory, thinking, "This is the teaching." Later, back at the monastery, the master asked, "Show me the moon." Eager to please, the student held up his hand, perfectly imitating the master's pointing finger. The master sighed softly. "You have looked at the finger, my friend, and missed all the heavenly glory." We do this constantly with purpose. We mistake the pointers for the point. We think our purpose is a specific job, the finger, a relationship, the finger, a spiritual practice, the finger, a philosophy, the finger. We cling to the form, the method, the signpost, the teaching itself. All the while, we miss the actual experience. The moon of aliveness, connection, inner peace, love, and authentic expression that these things were meant to point us toward. The stories, the teachings, even these words, are fingers pointing. They are not the moon. Your own direct, unmediated experience of being fully alive, fully present, fully compassionate, fully at rest in your own being, that is the moon. Don't worship the finger. Don't spend your life analyzing, debating, or describing the finger. Look where it points. And then, let go of the finger. Difficult situations are like someone gently but firmly turning your head away from your obsession with the finger, forcing you to look at the empty, dark sky. In that darkness, if you relax your frantic gaze, you might just see the moon shining, not because of any finger, but because it has always been there, waiting for your direct sight. Practice the moon gaze. Tonight, if you can, go outside and look at the moon. Or look at something vast and beautiful, a sunrise, a great tree, the ocean, the face of someone you love. Don't analyze it. Don't think about what it means for your purpose. Simply look. Feel the experience of looking. Feel the space between you and the object dissolve into just seeing. That direct, unmediated experience of awe, peace, or simple being, that feeling is closer to the moon of purpose than any theory, story, or map. Whenever you are lost in seeking, go look at the moon. Remember, the purpose is the experiencing, not the map to the experience. A man, troubled by his lack of a grand, singular purpose, went to sit by a forest creek in the Smoky Mountains. He heard the water gurgling over stones, the wind in the hemlocks, the call of a blue jay, the buzz of cicadas. Each sound was distinct, yet they blended into a complex, peaceful, living symphony. He thought, the water's purpose is to flow. The wind's is to blow. The bird's is to sing. Each has a clear, defined role. What is my single, clear note? What is my solo in this symphony? Just then, a yellow birch leaf detached and spiraled silently down. It made no sound. It simply landed on the water and was carried away by the current. It became part of the flow, adding only a silent, visual texture. The man's mind quieted. He realized the leaf had no note of its own. Its purpose was to participate, to be carried, to add its humble beauty to the stream. And then he saw himself. He was not the creek, the wind, or the bird. He was not even the leaf. He was the hearing of the symphony. He was the aware, silent space in which the creek, the wind, the bird, the leaf, and his own questioning heart all arose. That aware, listening space was not a note in the symphony. It was the concert hall itself. We pressure ourselves to have a loud, distinct, memorable solo in the symphony of life. When we can't find it, we feel pointless, like background noise. But what if your most fundamental purpose is not to be a note, but to be the awareness that hears the music? What if your role is to be the conscious space in which the entire play of life, your thoughts, feelings, actions, and the world itself, unfolds? This is the most profound shift. You are not a player searching for a part. You are the stage, the lighting, the very capacity for experience. From this perspective, every experience, joyful, difficult, mundane, is part of the performance happening within you. Your purpose is to be the clear, open, conscious ground for it all. Helping others then becomes natural. It is the stage allowing another actor to play their part. Difficult situations are just intense scenes in the play, they don't threaten the stage itself. You are the unchanging awareness. That is your ultimate purpose and home. Practice the concert hall awareness. Sit and close your eyes. Listen to the sounds around you. Instead of focusing on the individual sounds, the notes, feel the space in which the sounds appear. Feel the awareness that is hearing. That awareness is silent, vast, and unchanging, while the sounds come and go. Rest as that awareness for a few minutes. You are not your thoughts about purpose. You are the aware space knowing those thoughts. This space is your deepest identity and your most fundamental purpose, to be conscious. Final integration, the breath that asks for nothing. The stories have been told. 35 mirrors, held up in the quiet light of this temple. The librarian taught us about the sacred texture of the ordinary. The ice and the river showed us the purpose in every state of being. The singing stones reminded us we are part of a bridge built by many hands. The gardener and the wild meadow asked us to trust the native intelligence within. The songbird with one note proved simplicity is an anchor. The night watchman revealed purpose in unseen constancy. The blacksmith and the bellows illustrated the rhythm of receptivity and action. The nomad's tent showed us how to carry our home within. The broken vase, repaired with gold, taught us that our cracks are where the light enters. The lost sailor learned to navigate by relationship when the stars vanished. The two lamps demonstrated that love grows by spending, not saving. The mountain and volcano integrated our serenity with our sacred fire. The clock and the timeless moment freed us from the tyranny of Chronos into Kairos. The sculptor in the mud invited us to create with the messy material of now. The forest and the single tree relieved us of the burden to be the whole woods. The weary night discovered the grail was in the receiving. The canyon echo taught us that our choices are honored by full presence on our chosen path. The unseen route asked us to trust the underground work. The ferryman surrendered to the river's deeper current. The symphony's rest showed silence as a composed, essential part of the music. The weaver's mistake turned flaws into features of a new design. The candle in the daytime celebrated purpose in peace and joy. The map on water released us from clinging to any fixed plan. The old tree and new shoot placed us gently in the continuum of life. The lantern in the collective dawn asked us to carry our light into the ordinary day. The guest and the host returned us to our true seat as awareness. The single-step path dissolved the overwhelming journey into this one breath. The unfinished song showed the completeness of each movement. The invisible weaver connected us to the chain of all being. The already lit candle reminded us the spark is in our hand. The river that does not drink allowed us to flow without self-consciousness. The library of lives freed us from the prison of a single story. The wandering cloud showed purpose in fluid, selfless giving. The finger and the moon directed us from concept to direct experience. The symphony of the creek revealed our true nature as the aware space itself. You came here with a heart heavy with a question: what is the purpose of life? You leave not with an answer, but with a recognition. The question itself was a finger. The stories were fingers. All pointing back to you, here, now. Breathing. The purpose of life is to live. Fully. Consciously. Authentically. You know your purpose not by thinking, but by being so fully in an action that the question disappears. You help others because in the deepest truth, there is no real separation between you and other in the living net of existence. Helping is the natural movement of one part of the whole caring for another. The real purpose that God, life, the universe, sent you here for, is to be a point of conscious awareness within itself. To be the universe experiencing itself as a human, with all its beauty, its pain, its love, its creativity, its wonder. You face difficult situations because they are the sacred curriculum. They are the chisel, the fire, the winter, the dark thread. Absolutely essential for strength, for depth, for compassion, for the final, breathtaking, unique pattern of the tapestry that is you. So let the stories settle in you like silt in a riverbed, clarifying the water of your mind. You don't need to find a purpose. You need to be a presence. You don't need to write a perfect story. You need to live this sentence authentically. You don't need to reach the summit. You need to feel the ground under this step. You are not a problem to be solved. You are a mystery to be lived. The bell of this sharing has finished ringing. The silence that remains is not empty. It is full of you, exactly as you are in this moment. Whole. Complete. Purposeful, simply by the fact that you are. Welcome to the living of your one, wild, and precious answer. It has already begun. It always has. Thank you for being here, in Monk's Temple. May you carry its quiet with you.